A very good morning. You're watching the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha Television. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. Well, it is the start of a brand new week, and in the next 30 minutes, I'll take you through the biggest news stories from India and across the world that are changing our world. Of course, our top stories from China, where BRICS Summit is on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is likely to meet Xi Jinping today on the sidelines of the summit. All of those details from that big story and much more in this bulletin, starting with the headlines. BRICS Summit in Xiamen in China. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expected to raise the issue of terrorism at the summit. Meeting with President Xi Jinping likely. Nine new ministers inducted into the Union Cabinet. 4 ministers elevated to the cabinet rank. Nirmala Sitharaman gets defence. Piyush Goyal made the Railways Minister. Terrorism, biggest enemy of mankind, a danger to the world peace, says Vice President Venkaiah Naidu, stresses on the need for world community to unite to curb it. North Korea conducts its 6th nuclear test. US threatens military action. United Nations Security Council meet to look for ways to contain the regime's weapons ambition. And India whitewash a series against Sri Lanka, beat them by 6 wickets in the 5th and the final ODI. Jasprit Bumrah declared the man of the match. The top story, the Union Cabinet reshuffle took place on Sunday with President Ram Nath Kovind administering the oath of office and secrecy to the new ministers at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. While 4 ministers have been promoted to the cabinet rank, 9 new ministers were inducted into the Union Council of Ministers. Here are all the details.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's 3rd cabinet reshuffle since 2014. President Ram Nath Kovind administered the oath of office and secrecy to the new ministers at Rashtrapati Bhavan. 4 union ministers were promoted to cabinet rank and 9 new ministers of state were inducted. Among the big changes were Nirmala Sitharaman being appointed the defence minister and Piyush Goyal getting the railway ministry in addition to coal.
To me, it is a very overwhelming day. I just can't express my feelings, but that my party and that my Prime Minister has chosen to give this responsibility to me itself is a very big thing. I have to prove and have to perform to satisfy the goals which are expected of me.
Dharmendra Pradhan has been given additional charge of skill development. Minority Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi has been elevated to cabinet rank. Suresh Prabhu is now new Commerce Minister, while Nitin Gadkari has been given additional charge of water resources.
ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा employment oriented manufacturing, employment oriented economic activity देश में किस तरह से देखना चाहिए. हमारी देश की अर्थव्यवस्था और तेजी से बढ़ाने के लिए FDI ज़्यादा मात्रा में निवेश देश में होना चाहिए और FDI का निवेश बढ़ाने के लिए भी ये मंत्रालय काम करता है. तो इसलिए मैं मानता हूँ बड़ी मात्रा में देश की अर्थव्यवस्था में तेजी लाने के लिए, देश की अर्थव्यवस्था और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा जोर से चले, लोगों में एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेट हो, विश्व में हमारे शेयर ऑफ ग्लोबल ट्रेड में इंडिया का शेयर बढ़े, इसलिए सब में काम करने की जो जरूरत है, ये काम इसमें होगा.
There was a long list of former civil servants who made it to the new list. Former diplomat Hardeep Singh Puri is the new Housing and Urban Affairs Minister. Ex-Home Secretary R.K. Singh has been given the charge of Power and New and Renewable Energy Ministry. Former IAS officer Alphonse Kannandanam is the new Tourism Minister and Minister of State for Electronics and Information Technology. While former Mumbai Police Chief Satyapal Singh is the Minister of State for Human Resource Development and the Minister of State for Water Resources.
It's certainly a high standard of accountability in governance that the Prime Minister has laid down. I think some of the changes are extremely significant. There are some people who've had in government and administrative experience in the past, even as very distinguished civil servants. These people are not new entrants into politics.
Lok Sabha MP from Madhya Pradesh Kumar is a Minister of State for Women and Child Development and Minister of State for Minority Affairs. Lok Sabha MP from Karnataka, Anant Kumar Hegde, is a new Minister of State for Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Another Lok Sabha MP from Rajasthan, Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, has been made the Minister of State in the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare. Lok Sabha MP from Bihar, Ashwini Kumar Chaubey, has been made the Minister of State for Health and Family Welfare. While Rajya Sabha MP from Uttar Pradesh, Shiv Pratap Shukla, is the new Minister of State for Finance. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And there were several other gainers in the reshuffle. Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari has been given the additional charge of the water resources, river development and Ganga rejuvenation. Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore also gained after the rejig, and he got the sports portfolio. Santosh Kumar Gangwar also gained, and he got the Labour and Employment Ministry with independent charge. He was earlier serving as the MOS Finance. Now, Giriraj Singh got the independent charge of micro, small and medium enterprises. He was serving as the MOS in the ministry. Smriti Irani retained her Information and Broadcasting Ministry besides the Textiles Ministry. Cabinet Minister Harshvardhan, who was given the additional charge of the Environment Ministry following the demise of Anil Madhav Dave in the month of May, continues to hold the portfolio. On the other hand, Uma Bharti has been shifted to the Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation. Vijay Goyal will now serve as the Junior Minister in Parliamentary Affairs and Statistics and Programme Implementation. Mahesh Sharma has to give away the portfolio of Tourism. He retains the Culture Ministry and will also work as the Minister of State for Environment, Forests and Climate Change. And Minority Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi has been promoted to the cabinet rank. Speaking to Rajya Sabha TV, he said that the Prime Minister expects a hard work and positive outcome from his cabinet. Let's take a listen.
प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में जो सरकार है उसका केंद्र बिंदु है गरीब, और हर गरीब की आंखों में खुशी, उसकी ज़िंदगी में खुशहाली आए, इस संकल्प के साथ हम तेज़ी के साथ आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। जब गरीब की हम बात करते हैं तो डेफिनेटली जो अल्पसंख्यक है, अल्पसंख्यक का मतलब जो है कि जो मुस्लिम है, क्रिश्चियन है, सिख है, पारसी है, बौद्ध है, जैन है, वो उनमें बहुत बड़ी तादाद में लोग गरीबी रेखा के नीचे रहते हैं। हमारी प्राथमिकता ये है कि जो समाज का आखिरी पायदान पे खड़ा हुआ व्यक्ति हो, उसको जो है वो प्रगति की मुख्यधारा में शामिल किया जाए। इसलिए डेवलपमेंट विद डिग्निटी, हम सम्मान के साथ जो है वो तरक्की समाज के सभी हिस्सों की हो, इस दिशा में हम काम करते हैं। और इसीलिए 3 का हमने फार्मूला जो दिया है, संकल्प लिया है, 3 में फर्स्ट जो है वो एजुकेशन, सेकंड एम्प्लॉयमेंट एंड थर्ड एम्पावरमेंट। प्रधानमंत्री जी बिना रुके हुए, बिना थके हुए बहुत मेहनत करने वाले शख्स हैं, और उनका जो फोकस है हमेशा देश का है, देश की तरक्की है, और गरीब की तरक्की है। तो इसलिए जो भी उनके साथ काम कर रहे हैं उनको उनके साथ कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर ही काम करना होगा, और वो लोग सब लोग करते हैं। अब सरकार ने बहुत सी चीज़ें की हैं, ज़मीन पे उतारी हैं, उसको और मजबूती के साथ आगे बढ़ाना है, लेकिन इस रिशफल को और चुनाव से जोड़ना मुझे लगता है ठीक नहीं है। देखिए, हमारा मिनिस्ट्री बहुत सेंसिटिव है। सेंसिटिव इसलिए है कि अगर आप देखें तो हमारी सरकार के ख़िलाफ़ कोई करप्शन की बात नहीं करता, हमारी सरकार के ख़िलाफ़ कोई कहता नहीं कि साहब ये सरकार पॉलिसी पैरालिसिस है, कुछ काम नहीं कर पा रही है। पर एक ही चीज़ शोर मचता है कि साहब माइनॉरिटीज़ असुरक्षित हैं, उनके लिए कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, दलित परेशान हैं। तो हम सब की ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि समाज का हर तबके में विकास और विश्वास का माहौल पैदा हो, और उसको और मजबूत करेंगे।
And Shiv Pratap Shukla has been made the Minister of State for Finance. Alphonse Kannanthanam is the new Minister of State for Tourism and also the Minister of State for Electronics and Information Technology. Here are the reactions.
We are all going to work under the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister. He has a great agenda to create a new India. So we will all work towards achieving that great goal. Yeah.
Is this the roadmap for the?
Yes, exactly. The Prime Minister has laid a roadmap, and we are all going to be part of that.
जिम्मेदारी छोटी हो बड़ी हो सभी अहम होती है, और प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो मेरे में विश्वास व्यक्त किया है उस पर खरा उतरूं, यही मेरी पहली भी प्राथमिकता है और अंतिम भी प्राथमिकता है। डिजिटलाइजेशन का उन्होंने पहले से ही वो किया है, और धीरे धीरे सभी लोग उसमें दक्ष हो रहे हैं। तो हम सब लोग उनके प्रत्येक निर्णय के साथ अपेक्षाओं पर खरा उतरें, यही करेंगे।
Meanwhile, the Congress has reacted to the cabinet reshuffle, saying that Prime Minister Narendra Modi does not trust his political colleagues. Now, party spokesperson Manish Tewari said that there are 4 former bureaucrats among the 9 who took oath. He also said that Alphonse Kannanthanam and former diplomat Hardeep Singh Puri are not even the members of parliament.
9 new ministers inducted on an average have an age of 60.44 years in a country where the median age of its population is close to 27 years. So 9 people have been inducted, 4 are former bureaucrats, 1 is a doctor beater, and the other 4 are inconsequential. What is the message? The Prime Minister does not trust his political colleagues.
On to the other big story of the day. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in China's Xiamen city to attend the 3 days BRICS summit beginning today. He is likely to raise the issue of terrorism at the summit, hoping for a positive response from all the member nations. Now, the BRICS summit is crucial as the Prime Minister is likely to meet Chinese President Xi Jinping on the sidelines of the summit. His first face-to-face meeting with Xi Jinping a week after the Doklam standoff.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in China's Xiamen city to attend the 3-day BRICS summit starting today, with an opening ceremony attended by member countries Brazil, Russia, China and South Africa. Arriving in Xiamen city on Sunday, Prime Minister met members of the Indian diaspora and also posed for photographs with them. At the summit, India is likely to raise its concerns over terrorism. Before leaving for China on Sunday, Prime Minister Modi expressed hope for positive results from the summit, saying India looked forward to build on the path set by the Goa summit last year, where the issue of terror emanating from Pakistan was discussed.
Issues of interest, of course, as I said, apart from the economic aspects of the cooperation, I think there are certain developments in the world which are important for us. And I'm sure leaders, when they meet like this, are bound to look at it, including the scourge of terrorism, which has been a very important subject for us. We'd raised it in the Goa summit as well, and I'm sure it will revisit us at the summit as well.
It is expected that discussions during this session will focus on global economic situation and international economic governance, national security and development, and international and regional issues. This will be followed by a BRICS plenary session where the leaders will discuss the practical cooperation for common development, people-to-people exchanges, and cultural cooperation and institutional building.
Chinese President Xi Jinping has already set the tone on terrorism by calling for a holistic approach to fight terrorism in all its forms and ensure that terrorists have no place to hide. At his keynote address at the BRICS Business Forum, Xi called on BRICS countries to work closely together and usher in another fruitful 10 years.
金砖国家将迎来更富活力的第2个10年，让我们同国际社会一道努力，让我们的合作成果惠及5国人民。
There is likely to be an issue here because of China's extremely close ties with Pakistan. So any formulation on terrorism which seems to suggest, which seems to blame China as what India has said is the epicenter of terrorism, is unlikely to pass through in a declaration on terrorism. So there is going to be a lot of emphasis on the exact words to be used on the terrorism issue.
Coming just a week after India and China agreed to end a 72-day-long Doklam standoff, the summit is likely to provide the crucial platform for Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping to hold a bilateral meet on the sidelines. As per reports, the two leaders are expected to hold a meeting on the 5th of September. After the likely bilateral meeting with the host, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be travelling to Myanmar. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
All right, all eyes on a probable one-on-one between Prime Minister Modi and Xi Jinping. That is going to be a focal point. Of course, we'll keep getting you all the updates from China there. But time for a very short break. We'll be right back with more news. Stay tuned.
The sacred relics of Buddha were unearthed in Piprava in Uttar Pradesh. Buddhist monks from all over the world visit the National Museum to pay their respects. These charred bone fragments of Buddha are housed in the gold canopy gifted by the royal family of Thailand.
Thanks for staying with us. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu says that terrorism is the biggest enemy of mankind. Addressing the 78th session of the Institute of International Law at the Nalsar University of Law in Hyderabad, Vice President Naidu called for comprehensive convention to counter terrorism. He also said that there can be no justification by those who practice it. Here is a report.
Vice President Venkaiah Naidu has appealed to the global community to frame stringent laws to fight the scourge of terrorism. He outlined India's role in fighting international terror. He said that terrorism has no faith or color, but some vested interests with ulterior motives are trying to mix the two.
Some people are trying to mix terror and religion for their own narrow political and partisan ends. The world community must be aware of the evil designs of these forces and see to it that we all come to an agreement at the earliest to have the agreement to have a comprehensive convention on suppression of international terrorism.
Vice President Naidu pointed out that as a major stakeholder, India played a key role in global peace. He underlined that the country also believes in peaceful settlement of disputes through negotiations.
All people living in peace and happiness, in harmony. World is one family and has always respected international treaties and statutes. That is the civilization. We are proud Indians that we have a civilization of more than thousands of years.
The Vice President also said that the law of the land is meant to defend those who protect and respect it. He also stressed on the sovereign equality of states, which is a hallmark of India's foreign policy. The Vice President is currently visiting Hyderabad. He inaugurated the 78th session of the Institute of International Law in Nalsar on Sunday. Sandeep Yash's report from Hyderabad for Rajya Sabha TV.
And let's get you some more news from across the nation in Nationwide. Pakistani troops violated a ceasefire twice on Indian posts across the line of control in Poonch district and Kupwara districts on Sunday. The Indian Army also retaliated. There are no reports of any casualty or injuries from the Indian side. Uttar Pradesh's Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and his two deputies, Dinesh Sharma and Keshav Prasad Maurya, along with the two ministers, Swatantra Deo Singh and Mohsin Raza, will file their nomination papers for the by-polls of the State Legislative Council today. They are required to get elected as MLA or MLC by 19th of September, as none is a member of either house. Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi will visit Ahmedabad today. He will address a gathering of party representatives from local bodies such as municipalities, municipal corporation, district and taluka panchayats. Around 25,000 party workers are expected to participate in the program, where framework of the election campaign for the coming assembly elections is expected to be discussed. The flood situation in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar is improving. Meanwhile, the flood in Assam spread to newer areas in Dhemaji district, with over 41,000 people affected in 6 districts in the state. Currently, Dhansiri, Jia Bharali and Kushiara rivers are flowing above the danger mark. Meanwhile, in Tamil Nadu, 2 people have been killed after being struck by lightning. Our top international focus now. North Korea has conducted its 6th nuclear test, its largest so far, successfully trialling a hydrogen bomb that could be loaded onto a long-range missile. while the United States has a threatened military action and it says that it will stop trading with any country that does business with the North. The United Nations Security Council is to hold a meeting today on how to contain the regime's nuclear and weapons ambitions. Here are all the details.
Any threat to the United States or its territories, including Guam, or our allies, will be met with a massive military response, a response both effective and overwhelming. Kim Jong-un should take heed of the United Nations Security Council's unified voice.
The US threatening North Korea with massive military response. This after Pyongyang carried out its sixth and the most powerful nuclear test on Sunday. The underground blast caused tremors that were felt in both South Korea and China. The US Geological Survey put the tremor at 6.3 magnitude. Later, North Korean state media confirmed that it had indeed detonated a hydrogen bomb that could be loaded onto a long-range missile. US President Donald Trump denounced the test as hostile and dangerous, described the North as a rogue nation which had become a great threat and embarrassment to China, Pyongyang's main ally.
We have the ability to defend ourselves and our allies, South Korea and Japan, from any attack, and our commitments among the allies are ironclad.
South Korean President Moon Jae-in called for the strongest possible response. UK Prime Minister Theresa May called the test as reckless. China also expressed a strong condemnation. Russia urged all sides involved to hold talks. The United Nations Security Council is to hold an emergency meeting today to discuss an international response. The US is considering, in addition to other options, stopping all trade with any country doing business with North Korea. However, the option of putting hardest economic pressure that could potentially cripple the regime is something that China has been unwilling to do so far.
I am going to draft a sanctions package to send to the president for his strong consideration that anybody that wants to do trade or business with them would be prevented from doing trade or business with us. We are going to work with our allies, we'll work with China, but people need to cut off North Korea economically.
While triggering global geopolitical shockwaves, North Korea's nuclear test also represents a challenge to President Donald Trump's strategy of escalating the showdown with Pyongyang with explosive rhetoric. It also suggests that this is a program that is progressing on all fronts at a faster rate than many had expected. So far, all efforts to pressure North Korea, sanctions, isolation and military threats have all failed to move Pyongyang. And with newer tests every day, the world is adjusting its policy from seeking to roll back Pyongyang's weapons program to living with a nuclear-armed North Korea. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. And here is a wrap of more international news now in World Wrap. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has said that the bill for reconstruction after Hurricane Harvey could be as high as $180 billion. He said that the damage was worse than that caused by Hurricane Katrina, which devastated New Orleans in 2005. Rescue operations are underway across Texas and in neighboring Louisiana, although many areas are still battling floodwaters. The devastating hurricane made landfall in the state a week ago and has been blamed for at least 47 deaths. India and Nepal held their joint military exercise focusing on counter-terrorism and forest fighting operations. The exercise, the Surya Kiran, is being participated by around 300 troops from each side in Nepal's Rupandehi district. The Surya Kiran is the largest joint exercise in terms of troop participation, and it focuses on counter-terror operations in mountainous terrain. This is the 12th edition of the India-Nepal joint military exercise, and it will conclude on 16th of September. The annual 5-day Islamic pilgrimage to Mecca in Saudi Arabia, known as Hajj, is officially over. Khalid Al-Faisal, governor of Mecca, announced the formal end of the pilgrimage. On Sunday, hundreds of thousands of Muslims took part in the stoning of the devil ritual at Jamarat in Mina. Now, Saudi Arabia had deployed more than 1 lakh security forces and medics, as well as modern technology, including drones and fiber optics, to ensure a safe pilgrimage. And on to sports news now. Ace tennis player Anastasia Sevastova, Spaniard Pablo Carrero Busta and Venus Williams have reached the quarterfinals of the ongoing US Open Tennis Championship at the Flushing Meadows in New York. Maria Sharapova lost to Latvia's Anastasia Sevastova 5-7, 6-4, 6-2. While in another match, Spaniard Pablo Carreno Busta put an end to Canadian Davis Shapovalov with 7-6, 7-6, 7-6 win. Meanwhile, in a separate match, American Venus Williams beat Spaniard Carlos Suarez Navarro 6-3, 3-6, 6-1 to secure a position in the quarterfinals. She will now face either Muguruza or Petra Kvitova. In the women's doubles, fourth-seeded Sania Mirza and her Chinese counterpart Shua Peng has advanced to the third round after defeating a Slovakian pairing of Jana Sepalova and Ryborikova 6-7, 6-3, 6-3. The duo will now face a Romanian-Spanish combination of Sorana Sistia and Sara Sorinibes Tormo for a place in the quarterfinals. And in cricket, India beat Sri Lanka by 6 wickets in the fifth and the final ODI to win the series 5-0 in Colombo on Sunday. Now, chasing a target of 239 runs, India achieved the target with 21 balls to spare. Indian skipper Virat Kohli remained unbeaten on 110 runs off 116 balls. This was the 30th century of Kohli's ODI career. Jasprit Bumrah has been declared the man of the series, while Bhuvneshwar Kumar has been declared the man of the match. India thus whitewashed Sri Lanka 5-0 in the series. Now, this was the second successive ODI series defeat for the Lankan team. The two teams will now face off in the T20 International that will be played on 6th of September.
We've been doing really well in Test cricket. I think ODIs, we didn't win 3 games in a row before this. So from the last game in West Indies to now, we won 6. So that's something that we wanted to address, which we did before the series, and we wanted to be, relentless. We wanted to create good habits and make sure that we're challenging ourselves every time that we go out on the park. And that helps you when you are going through difficult situations. So I think that's one thing that we addressed before this series, and it really helped us, to come out here and play how we wanted to play.
Throughout the series, I think we were disappointed with our batting. I think, like Indian batting, they were very consistent. We didn't get those big scores. We saw the all 5 games, all the Indian top order, they making runs.
And President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have greeted the nation on the occasion of Onam today. Now, in a tweet, President Ramnath Kovind extended his good wishes to the people of the country, especially those in Kerala, and on the occasion of Onam. Now, greeting the nation on Onam, Vice President Venkaiah Naidu said, and I quote him, "I extend my warm greetings and good wishes to the people of our country on the auspicious occasion of Onam." Onam marks the beginning of the harvest season in various parts of the country. Celebrated with the traditional gaiety and enthusiasm, Onam reflects the central role of agriculture in the Indian society. Onam celebrations spread over 10 days across Kerala are marked by diverse activities ranging from boat races, dance events to floral designs and martial arts competition. May the festival usher in peace, prosperity and happiness in our country. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also greeted the nation on Onam, saying that may this auspicious festival enrich our society with happiness, harmony and well-being. And with wishes for a very happy Onam, I, Aishwarya Kapoor, take your leave. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day ahead.